everyone, and welcome to Bookcraft, the podcast where we go from every side of the story. Today, I am so excited to not only introduce you to somebody that is lovely in the book industry. Her name is Kim. She has written a poetry collection called A Collection of Ashes. So not only are Kim and I going to talk about this book, we're going to dive into author life. So, Kim, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Amazing. Now, Kim is a poet. She is a Canadian author. And your poetry collection, which I'll just, do a little branding here for those of you watching. It's a beautiful book. Absolutely love it. But I wanted to kind of start off with a little bit of what inspired you to start writing poetry.
Well, I've been writing poetry since childhood, teenagerhood, I guess. But I was always like a closet writer. I never shared any of it ever, unless it was like written for a specific event, like graduation or a friend's birthday or like a purposeful piece that was meant to be shared. Other than that, they all sat in books and journals and pieces of paper and in a drawer and safe. Um, and then in March of 2022, I actually lost my home to a condo fire, including my entire lifetime of writing. Because I was old school pen and paper. And so that was when I decided I don't want to lose any more of it. So I wrote this.
Yes. And it literally is your collection of ashes rising up from such a horrible event to lose all of that writing. I love that you do the pen and paper though. And I think for some people, maybe you find this, there's a nice connection when you're actually writing down the thoughts in your head.
hmm I still write majority on pen and paper, but at least now I'm kind of smart enough to take pictures of it if I haven't typed it in right away or, type it in and have it backed up because you just never know. Hopefully lightning won't strike twice, but you just never know. So, I do still have a book that I fill with poems and have a hard drive with poems and that will be being made into another collection soon, hopefully.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And we met in person for the first time at a market. And I love
Yes.
one of the things that you did was you actually had your book and you went around to different vendors and basically said, open up to a page and let's see what the poem is. And I did this the other day and the poem was all about letting go. And I thought, oh, Kim, you nailed it. Do you find when you do that that sometimes it is absolutely the perfect poem that people pick?
9 times out of 10, yeah. Yeah, I've had people in tears, standing in front of me like, "How did you know?" Or then it leads to a, heartfelt story, they're sharing what's on their mind or what's on their heart, and yeah, it's a really, sacred way to connect with people, and, yeah, honestly, like, the book does the work for me.
And I think too, like sometimes like you're saying it lands perfectly for people. And I think that's the beauty of when, it's hard to take that thing that's your work and put it out there for other people to see. But then when these sort of serendipitous events happen and somebody goes, oh my gosh, that's what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I'm going through right now. And you're like,
Mhm.
yes. And
Yeah.
I facilitated that thought and feeling. Goosebumps. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. So, going through and writing everything down in journals, were you like, were you that kid? I was that kid. Were you that kid in school that always had like a little something going on the side, writing down some thoughts and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you also take out as many library books as you possibly could?
Always. When I was
Always.
when I was a kid, we had this, it was like a square box of kids' books and in our town library, and I would have, like my mom had made me a jean book bag with my name and on it and whatever, and I could fill that up. Like once a week we would go, and the librarian would take the bag and dump it into the box. And do you know how many times I picked the same book that I had just returned?
Jeez.
Like there was one, I think it was either Rapunzel or Rumpelstiltskin.
Mm.
Literally, like took it out 3 weeks in a row, and my mom was like, "Why did we return it? Like, what are we doing?" So, yeah, I mean, I've had a very strong love of books forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now your book is actually in the libraries. Is your book right now just in like the Edmonton Public Library system, or have you gotten it into other libraries?
It's just currently in the Edmonton Public Library system, yeah.
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 Which is a incredibly big library system. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's 6 copies that can be interspersed between all the different branches and locations. There is a copy that's like special for the Capital City Press, which is second or third floor of the downtown Stanley Milner Library. If you haven't seen it or checked it out, it's amazing. It's like literally a wall of all the local authors, filmmakers, musicians. Yeah, so there's like CDs, movies, books. It's like, and it's all dedicated for like local Edmontonians.
Seen it. I'm going to admit this on the podcast. I've only been to the giant new downtown library twice since it opened.
It's
And once was to,
beautiful.
yeah, it is. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, for those of you listening that are from Edmonton area, you know that the design of the new building, it looks like a battle station. But inside it is absolutely gorgeous. And I think too, when we have those books like yours in the library system, it's just that accessibility for so many more people to see a poetry collection like yours.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, like, I hear at different events that, people are on book buys or they're doing, no spend challenges or, let's face it, the economy is tough. So it's a really good way for it to be accessible without having to incur a cost for people.
Yeah,
So I love
yeah,
that as well. So
yeah. I love the library. I am an avid library user, and I'm also an avid book buyer because I can't help myself. Now,
yes.
in-person events, is this something that you always did, like, from when, because what year did this get published? In 2023?
2023, April.
Right.
Yeah.
And then did you start doing in-person events right after that, or did it take some time to start actually going out to those events?
No, I started doing in-person events right away. I actually have another business that I just kind of morphed into a combination for a while. So I was already doing in-person markets with my other business, and so when my book first came out, I just kind of had a little shared space for the book. And then, now I make art and accessories and all the book things, and so it needed its own table. So then for a while I was doing one table for each business, and then I have some book only events I do too. So just was kind of a natural transition for me.
Yeah. And I think for some people, especially when there's a lot of creativity, I'm where you were in 2023. So I have my chocolate business and then I have the books there. And it's slowly going to be the books will take over the
Mhm.
chocolate space. But it's like that safe thing. Like, here you go, here's chocolate and a book.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of nice because it's almost like training wheels. It was kind of how I saw it, was like, okay, I might not have a lot of, client crossover, but at least I understand the basics of running a business and marketing and talking to people. And so, I mean, it was pretty seamless. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you found with the events a big difference between an event that's like a mixed market where there's lots of different vendors with lots of businesses and the events that are just the author events? Like, do you find you do better at one or the other, or is it just a completely different crowd?
I've done a lot of different events, so many different events. I've done indoor and outdoor and like the multi genre type market where you've got like your crocheted stuff and your consumables and all those things. And then I've done book only ones. I don't know really. everything is even the same market on 2 different months is not even comparable. Um, and the market scene has shifted quite a bit over the last few years as well. So, I don't know, they're really hard to predict. I haven't really noticed a trend of any kind yet, but yeah. I enjoyed them all, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Getting to meet the people that are reading the book.
Yeah, absolutely. Connecting with vendors, networking, getting to know what other people's things and passions and products are, and yeah, sharing those with other people, and I don't know, I love it all.
Yeah.
Lights me up for sure.
It is fun, like, I've been doing markets for a long time, and now I find there's certain markets where I'm like, "Oh my gosh, such and such food vendor is gonna be there. Oh, I could go and buy, like, all the treats."
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. How much do I need to sell in order to buy all the treats?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I have certain markets where I have like longtime friends that are fellow vendors, and yeah, so it's kind of like everyone has its little, place and purpose, and yeah. So
Absolutely. And then when you published your book, did you find was there anything that surprised you? Because you did the whole self-publishing everything. Was there anything that was like you didn't expect or surprised you about publishing your first book?
yeah, many things. I didn't realize how little percentage of the work writing the book actually was. Like it's only like 10% probably of the whole journey, which to me was absurd, truly and honestly. So, yeah, it's a lot. Like there's so much to learn. It's such an unknown world and kind of territory. So unfamiliar and like non-intuitive and all the things. So, yeah, it's a lot. There's way more involved in it than I would have ever known. And I am just feeling the the sensation in my body as I'm remembering that my purpose this year is to create book 2.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but it's very worth it in the end. It's just I feel like I'm kind of rusty now that it's been 3 years since I published this one, so I don't know how much has changed. But I mean, I know a lot more people in the industry and stuff now, so I'm sure I can, make a phone a friend in a few situations this time. So,
Yeah. And for me, that's been one of the biggest benefits of meeting, people like you and other authors at the markets is that those little nuggets. I was talking, we were at an event in December together, and I was talking with another vendor, and she makes those fun, the little holders that you put in your books. And I said, "Can you make custom ones?" And she's like, "Yep." I was just like, "Oh, this is fantastic because I think maybe I want one." And it's just suddenly it's that little nugget where you were searching online to find somebody that can do that thing, and then boom, they're right there at the event and you can just have a conversation with them.
mhm.
And for your first book, did you do a print run or did you just do print on demand for it?
It's the difference.
Print run where you get like a couple thousand copies and print on
No, I
demand where
just did print on demand. I mean, I order a few hundred at a time usually, but yeah, print on demand.
yeah. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is so funny because when my friend like her first book that she did was way back and she had to do the print run where they're like, so in order to have the good price, you need to order 12,500 copies. She's like, oh, okay. I'm going to just have that as my furniture in my house.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have changed things a lot because,
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea what and like, you have to remember, like, when I published my book, I knew maybe 3 people who had ever published a book in their life, and so I was like, I don't even know, like, based on statistics that I've read online, most people don't even sell 100 books in their lifetime. Like, I think it's like 92% of authors won't reach 100 books sold ever. And I was like, okay, well, 12,000 books is not in my cards back back then, right? I was like, oh, I'll be lucky if I sell the 100 I ordered kind of thing. But yeah, life has kind of changed since then. But yeah,
Yeah.
print on demand is a great option.
It's such a good option. And I think too, when you have that option to do the print on demand, you're not tying up all your money and resources. And I've found just with the few hundred books that I've had printed, they're actually pretty fast turnaround
Mm-hmm.
time between when you order them and when you get your copies. And, for people that are just starting out as, in this author life, you don't want to have thousands of dollars tied up in books. Like you said, most authors don't sell more than 100 copies. I'm with you as well. Now that I look at it with my debut, the writing part was the easiest part, and the marketing is so hard. Just finding people.
Right?
Yes. I was going to ask you as well, do you have, because some authors are very stringent on this, do you have a daily writing ritual, or how do you kind of, nope, nope, okay.
No, I am chaos. Chaos in a bottle. I can't force writing. Um when I was writing this book, it had such urgency that I was waking up in the middle of the night to write. I was like getting out of the shower halfway with shampoo dripping down my face to write. Like I was pulling over in the car to write. Like it was like slamming me in the face. And like the more I ignored it, the harder it hit. So writing this book was like very fast. Yeah, but since I kind of got it out and I've really been kind of fulfilling all that stuff, I do write and I kind of almost like binge write. Like when I sit down, sometimes like I'll write like 6 pieces, like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, perfect, good for now. Like I'm usually either reading or writing.
Mhm.
Like so right now I'm on a huge reading binge. I've read like 4 books in the last few weeks, which is crazy, but I'm not very structured. I'm more like a mood writer and like when inspiration hits writer. I write a lot like sitting outside in the summer or this is usually a pretty prime writing time for me, kind of the winter, but depends on how hard life is lifing as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So,
What are you reading right now?
The People We Meet on Vacation.
Oh, lovely. That's
I
a
picked
good
it up.
book.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I want to watch the movie really badly, so I was like, okay, she's next. Yeah,
She's
it's
nice.
pretty good. I haven't read any Emily Henry books yet, so this is my first.
My favorite book by her is Book Lover, and it's one of the
Mm,
only books that I've done a reread. I don't typically reread books, but
yeah.
it's such funny, witty banter, like laugh out loud moments. I was having a day one day and I thought, oh, you know what I want? I want Book Lovers. That's what I want. Yeah. Now, this is just a totally off topic question, but are you a read the book first, watch the movie, or you don't specify between the two?
I pretty much have to read it first,
Hmm.
or I won't read it after. If I've
Okay.
already watched the movie, chances are I'm not going to read the book, or I would need enough time between. Like I wouldn't watch a movie, read a book right after, because then it kind of drives me crazy. I'm not like my imagination is so fierce. I'm like that's not what I want them to look like. Like push it out, right? So, or oh, this is different, and I can't like stop focusing on what the differences are, and
Yeah.
so yeah. I have
Yeah.
to read
I'm
it first.
usually read the book first and then watch, but I just did the opposite. We watched The Expanse and I had not read the 13 books. So I'm going to read them now. But even as we were watching it, I was like, I said to my boyfriend, pause right now, because that is not, the author would never do this. Like, as somebody that's now writing books, and I read a lot. And so I'm Googling it. And I was like, yeah, no, the author did not do that in the books.
This is probably gonna blow your socks off, but I do have a situation where that did happen. So I friend took me to see Harry Potter 5 in theaters. And I was like, I don't know anything about Harry Potter. And so they kind of gave me like a Star Wars analogy of like who's who, and I was like, okay, got it. Watched the movie. I was like, whoa. If anybody remembers, 5 is pretty pretty dramatic. And so I was like, oh my God, where have I been? So I bought like the first few books and read them like in a day each. And so I actually started Harry Potter books after I watched the fifth one in theaters.
Yeah.
So,
The fifth one is dark. Like, it is dark.
yep,
Yeah. And I
yep.
always, for me, it's like I love looking to see what they took from the book to make it into the show because sometimes there's so much. I personally love when they do like the 6 to 8 part like Hulu series and
Yes.
then they can spend
Yes.
time.
I love this fall I binged The Summer I Turned Pretty. So
Okay.
I haven't read the books. I own two of them. I just realized, but so good. I love those like little mini series where, yeah, they can really flesh out those characters and
Yeah, and you don't feel like they're missing. Like there's not parts of their, personalities or big parts of their stories that are missing.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Now, you did
Yeah.
hint that you have your next collection. Are you working on it or is it close to publication?
Hmm. It's written. It's been written for a while. I mean, when I say written, I mean I have a lot of content that is going to go in it. That's about as far as I am. I don't even have a manuscript yet. I wanted to do it last year, but it life was I worked a lot last year, so in my daytime job. So hopefully this year will be the year
Yeah. And
to
are you
get it out.
doing it as is it like a theme for your collection or is it a
I'm not
random?
100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person when I write something, I kind of write it and then it's like gone. And so Um, oftentimes the next day I'll be like, "I think I wrote something last night," and then I'll read it, and I'm like, "Oh," I have, like, no real recollection. So I don't even really know what's, like, on my hard drive and in my books right now to use. So, I don't know. It'll be some kinda collection, I'm sure. What it looks like, I'm not 100% sure yet.
And do you have quite a few book events that you're doing this year or where are you at with that?
I don't really have much booked yet. I'm kind of taking a break for the first few months here. I do have an event in April, the Tales and Trinkets Wellness event, and that's about all I have booked at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure I will be out and about doing things. I just need some time, some
Y-
rest.
Yes, this is January is well, it's 5,023 days long. So what are we on day 299?
Right?
Yeah. I I thought I was gonna get a lot more writing done in January, and because my year is so focused with November and December with events and markets, and I had the book launch last year, I'm finding that I just want to sleep a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I gotta get all this stuff done, but the applications for my big markets that I do come out February 1st, and I will be doing the clackety
Mm.
clack on February 1st.
I noticed there are some already opened that I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of very spur of the moment, so like it really pains me to have to apply for some of these things like a year in advance because I don't know if I'm gonna be here. What if I'm on vacation? I don't know, but we'll see. There's a market I did last year that I really enjoyed. Its application is open, and I'm leaning towards applying for it again, but we'll
Well, and
see.
just because I'm just starting with this whole, doing book events, and last year in like November, a 2027 event put their applications out, and I'm like, I'm just trying to get through November. Like, are you kidding me with 2027?
I know. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's kind of it's hard, and you're competing with. I find, and I don't know, maybe it's not true, but I feel like I'm competing with like dedicated authors who, mainly do this for a living, and I'm like, I don't know, like. End of year is so hard for me because we have year end with work, so we've got like blackout period, and so it's sometimes a difficult balance or dance.
Um, Now, just I saw you were drinking something, so just is there a certain beverage that you love to have, like when you're working or writing or just in general?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. Coffee. Always coffee. Unless it's summer and I'm outside, then it might be wine
Iced.
or cider or iced coffee. Depends on the time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's funny because I think a lot of times people, they want to know, like, what does your desk look like? What does your office look like? And I was like, I have a fold out table.
Yeah, it's not glamorous by any means.
No.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
No.
One day it will be
Ugh.
glamorous. Right now, it's
Yeah.
not.
One day I'll be like on a European cobblestone bistro set. Yes,
Okay.
that is the dream
That is the dream.
with
I know.
my espresso.
Yes, exactly.
But for now,
Fold out desk.
well, I have my work desk, but I don't even really work at it when I only use my work desk, my workspace for work. Like I don't want to be writing there. Sometimes
Mhm.
I'll sit at my little island that's like covered in nail stuff or on a TV tray at my couch. I don't know. Rolled into a ball under a blanket. I don't know. That's what they make laptops for, right? Can do
That
anything
is
anywhere.
exactly what they make them for. Exactly. I love
Yeah.
it. I had one more kind of question that I've been asking authors and readers lately, and this is book trends that have been happening that you would just love to see gone. Do you have any that you wish were not a trend?
I feel like I'm very anti book trend in general. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't like follow book trends. I don't really know how to say it, but like I'll buy like the new book and then like it'll sit on my shelf for a year. I don't know. I'm such a mood reader. Like lots of times, like the last book I was reading, I didn't want it to end. So I was like resisting finishing it. And I was already trying to queue up the next book to read when I stopped because I'm like on a train right now. And I'm like, okay, let's keep this train rolling. But then I was like, what if this book ends in a way that that's not what I want to read next?
Mm.
And so I actually queued up 3 books and I didn't end up reading any of them. And I ended up buying The People We Meet on Vacation, like on the weekend, and started it because now the movie's out. So like, I don't know. I'm behind. Like I don't even like if I'm reading a trilogy, I don't even typically read book 1, 2, and 3. I
Mm.
will like read book 1, read 5 books, then maybe read book 2. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I
Trends don't really allure me very much.
no. And I even like I had picked up a book and I was, just reading it and somebody's like, "Oh my God, that book's so popular." I was like, "Oh, it is? I like the cover." I'm you know. And somebody's like, "Oh no, it's like the biggest book on TikTok." And I was just like, "Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I just thought the cover was really pretty and that's why I bought it." And
Yeah. Well, it's funny too because do you know how many times I've bought a book without reading the back of it?
nice. Okay.
Same thing, cover, title, author recognition. Like I'm like, "Oh, I've read this author before." Like I have some like auto buys where I'm just like, "Oh, I don't have this one," or "Oh, I don't
Oh,
know."
what are some of your auto buy authors that you love?
Wally Lamb is like one of those. I don't have his newest one yet, but Jennifer Weiner is one of them. And then I've got some poets too, like Ruby Carr, Atticus. Yeah, I don't know who else. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely more auto-buy authors, but I can't think of any more right now
Yeah.
at the top of my head. But
I love the auto buy when they have that new book out and you're like, yeah, that's 100%. Like for me, as soon as the Louise Penny book comes out in the soft and
mm.
paperback, it's I've got all 20 upstairs. I don't have the newest one. It's in hardcover.
Okay, I'm a paperback girly too, or soft cover. Like I don't like hardcover very much. I find them too heavy and rigid.
Yes. Yeah. And I
Okay.
only have just recently started buying some hardcovers only because I want the pretty book.
Yeah, or if I find them at the thrift store,
Yes.
then I'll buy them in hardcover because there's not really an option, but I usually wait.
Yeah. Well, I this has been fantastic a chance to talk with you today. And where can people find you? Like, where can they find your books? Where can they find you online?
Well, so I'm on Instagram. My handle is Mrs. Eddie Vedder. I'm a Pearl Jam lover. And my book is available in different bookstores around the city. On Chapters online. So Chapters Indigo website, you can order it anywhere through their website. It's also in stores in some of the locations in the city. I have pinned in my page on Instagram where you can find all my books as well. Or my one book, I guess, in all the different stores. And then I'm in some boutique stores around the city that also carry some of my art on Amazon. Markets. I don't
All
know,
the
am I forgetting
places.
anything? I don't know. Audrey's.
Wonderful. Oh, I know. I love
Yeah.
Audrey's. There's
There's a coffee shop that I adore that carries my book as well, CH Cafeteria on the West End.
yes,
I had my book launch there actually, so yeah,
love that.
slowly
Well,
adding to the list.
exactly. Getting more, spreading out to more different amazing places.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, I will put in the show notes the link to your Instagram so that people can find you there.
Thank you.
And then of course they can get you at the library too if, like you
Yes,
said,
Edmonton
for those
Public Library.
people that do the crazy book buying ban, I don't ever do that. I'm always going to buy books.
Books will end up being my furniture one day, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was amazing to chat with you. And for
Thank
everyone
you.
out there, oh, you're so welcome. For everyone out there, however you enjoy your books, there's a place for you here. Thanks, everyone.